used to be an MRA, but now I'm a male feminist. What happened to me was gynocentrism. It's all around us, and it got me. I was trying to be fully aware as an MRA, but now I see how wrong that was. Gynocentrism is in our blood, in our society. There's no stopping it. Just last week I was an MRA, and I needed some help around the house carrying something heavy, and my wife being not as strong as I am, or what I thought would be enough to help me, I thought of my neighbor. There's a couple that live next door, and right away I'm thinking, of course, call Steve, not Barbara. So I started thinking, you know, what feminists have been saying, this new initiative, He for She, you know, they are right. Women are weaker. They are not as capable. And it's pretty obvious to me now as a male feminist that women do need help, special treatment, and special privileges. I mean, it's so obvious. Now you see that when people get divorced, women are saddled with the children all the time, and that is such a burden. I feel sorry for these mothers with all these children and the burden they have. That's why women should have reproductive rights fully and in every instance only, because if men had equal rights, the equal reproductive choice, then where would women be? They wouldn't be able to, you know, saddle men willy-nilly with fatherhood. Where would that leave our girls and women when they choose to have a child, you know, whenever they want? And so what if that man's not ready? So what if that man or boy doesn't want children? What's best is for women and for children. You know, it's pretty obvious that women are weaker. We don't like them. They don't like to get dirty. We don't want them to get hurt either. Do we want women and girls to get dirty, to skin their knees, get tough like men, have to suffer indignities of the world, you know, abusive language, cursing? Do you want women to hear curses? We do need to protect them specially. They are special snowflakes. You know, whether or not women are conditioned to be weaker, or whether they are weaker and we really need to protect them, that's irrelevant what the reason is. The fact is that they are weaker. They can't always be trusted to make their own judgments or be responsible for their decisions, whether they make decisions or not in life. They need special protections because they are weaker. They don't know how to get by in life without the protections and help of the government and men. And I'm very encouraged as a male feminist that we're doing damn good by our women. I have to say, in 2015, the status of women, even though it's a patriarchy, I believe that we're going in the right direction, and I think what feminists are doing now are winning the war. Although there's a long way to go. The fight is not over, not by any means, but we have achieved so much for women and girls. So let's keep the status quo. I mean, let's keep this established. I mean, let's keep moving forward, because, first of all, there's no draft for women, okay? As I said, we don't want women hurt. We don't want them inconvenienced. If there is a war in the past, what have we done? We have not bothered women or girls to have their equal responsibility for fighting for this country and for their privilege of voting. No, we haven't, and I don't want that changing, because we've got to protect our women and girls. They're special. They're weaker. They are not capable of fighting in war. And plus, as we've all agreed, feminists, women are lives are more valuable than men's. That's why we are keeping the status quo as feminists and keeping the draft for men only, the selective service for men only. Good going, girls. Also, reproductive rights. Good going, feminists, because I believe that only women should have reproductive rights. After all, they give birth. So they should have unilateral choice to be mothers or not. To hell with men. I know some MRAs, believe you me, I know, I was part of them. They think that they should get equal reproductive rights, equal to women, but that would not be right. Because women are special, they deserve special rights, and if they choose to bring a child into this world, she deserves to get help from whoever she names on that birth certificate. Another thing, genital integrity is of the utmost importance to women and girls. I'm so glad that feminists, you've done it again. You've saved girls from getting genitally mutilated at birth. So in this country, in many first world countries, you cannot circumcise a girl at all. Way to go. The hell with the boys. That's different. So what? It's just a little foreskin. I know those MRAs. They're very pesky. They expect to get the same, protection for boys, but it's just not the same. Come on. We all know it. Women are most important than girls. Case closed. Another thing that we've got going good. We've kept that alimony, because just sometimes women after divorce, they may be not able to work or don't want to work. Maybe they have other things to do. So that alimony, especially that lifetime alimony that you have in some states, good going, feminists. I'm glad you've been fighting against those pesky reformers who want to get rid of lifetime alimony. Good going. Let's keep the status quo, feminists. Also, thank God we are also keeping the status quo on child support and custody for women. Those pesky felders rights groups, they still try to get equal access to their children. But I've seen the light. Women and mothers are most important to children. Dads are replaceable. This is what feminists say. So I believe them. And plus these fathers' rights groups, they're really just abusers. Isn't that what feminists, that's just the fact, right? So why should we give abusers any access to children? But I'm glad that we're not just keeping the status quo. We are moving forward. I like this new affirmative consent movement that, man, in the old days, we had the government in our bedrooms. Gays couldn't have sex legally. Blacks and whites couldn't have sex legally. Contraceptives were illegal. And then we've got the government out of our bedrooms. I mean, that was good for a time. But now, in the protection of women and girls, we've got to demand that the government get back in our bedrooms and enforce affirmative consent, because men, left and right, it's an epidemic of men taking advantage of women, getting them drunk, pouring liquor down their throats, forcing them to drink, and we know they can't have consent then. So we need this affirmative consent law. We need the government back in our bedrooms, clog up the courts. People should be sued, people should be jailed just for having normal sexual urges. We want the government back in our bedrooms to punish the men who do our women wrong. That's plain as it is. That's what we did with Jim Crow in the 50s. That's what we want to do now to men. Keep them in line. If they don't do the right thing, we'll sue them or jail them. So, to all my fellow feminists out there, keep up the good work. Keep up the status quo. Keep up the patriarchy, because it's working for us. Bye.